There's a voice inside every one of us. Sometimes it's a whisper, sometimes it's a roar, but it always says the same thing. There's more in you, more potential, more purpose, more waiting to be unlocked. But between where you are and where you're meant to be, there's one thing most people never cross: the courage to start. See, we all have dreams, visions, ideas that keep us awake at night, but somewhere along the way, fear starts to whisper, what if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if I'm not enough? And so we wait for the perfect timing, we wait for clarity, we wait for confidence. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come before the step. It comes because of it. Faith isn't about knowing every move. Faith is about trusting the one who does. When God gives you a dream, he's not testing your timing. He's testing your trust. He's asking, will you move even when you don't feel ready? Because clarity comes from movement, not from waiting. And doors don't open for those who stand still. They open for those who knock. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Eli. He had a dream to speak, to inspire, to share what God placed in his heart. But every time he thought about starting, he heard that same lie. You don't have the platform. You don't have the experience. You don't have what it takes. But one day he decided to start anyway. He set his phone on a chair, pressed record, and spoke from his heart. No fancy camera, no big audience, no guarantee anyone would even listen. But here's the thing, when you move in faith, heaven moves with you. That one video reached 200 people, then 2,000, then 200,000. And what started as fear turned into fire because he didn't wait for perfect. He started with purpose. Starting doesn't mean you'll have it all figured out. It means you trust God enough to figure it out along the way. Remember this, you can't steer a parked car, and you can't build momentum standing still. When you take that first step, something shifts in the atmosphere. You align with destiny, you activate favor, you give God something to bless because he doesn't multiply potential, he multiplies motion. But I get it, bro. Starting is hard, it's lonely, it's scary. It means stepping into the unknown. And that's where most people stop. But the unknown is where growth lives, it's where faith breathes, it's where average ends and destiny begins. You'll never feel fully ready because purpose always requires more faith than comfort. If it feels too big, that's because it is. God designed it that way. So you'd rely on him, not your ability. Let me be real with you. You might fail. You might fall. You might get it wrong. Failure isn't final. Failure is fertilizer. It grows your wisdom, strengthens your focus, and refines your calling. Every no you face becomes direction. Every closed door becomes redirection. Every hard season becomes preparation. Because God never wastes pain, he turns it into purpose. So start scared. Start small. Start with the voice that trembles. Start with the hands that shake. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the face of it. Every time you take one faithful step, you remind hell it can't have your destiny. Every time you refuse to quit, you tell fear it picked the wrong one. And every time you move in obedience, you invite heaven to multiply what's in your hands. Listen, if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. It's time to move. Don't wait for everything to line up. Don't wait for people to understand. Don't wait for the feeling to come. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to be present because your courage will inspire someone else's calling. Your story will unlock someone else's strength, and your obedience might just change someone's eternity. The moment you start, you're no longer just a dreamer, or you're a creator, a builder, a vessel of something divine. So here's what I want you to do next. Take that idea you've been sitting on, write it down, speak it out, move on it. Don't overthink, obey, don't wait, walk, because everything you need to begin is already in your hands. And as you move, watch how God multiplies what you thought was small. Watch how he turns your seed into a story, your story into a system, and your system into a legacy. Scan the QR code or visit theempoweredcreators.com to get your free Creators Blueprint Workbook, the field manual for people who are ready to start, ready to move, and ready to build what God placed in their heart. Because this isn't just about business, it's about destiny. And your destiny is waiting for your first step. Start today. Not perfect, just present, not fearless, just faithful. Because courage isn't what you find at the finish line, it's what you choose at the starting line.